This camera? No, this one. Hi, you've tuned into the GFree and Happy show, and my guest is the CEO and co-founder David Ingalls of Zing Bars. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to the GFree and Happy show that happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Kathy, and I've been GFree and Happy for 4 years now. And tonight, I have a very special guest. He's actually from Seattle, close to where I am, so I'm really thrilled to have David Ingalls, who is the CEO and co-founder of these lovely bars that I have to say are my favorite nutritional bar. I have them every day. They're so yummy right before gym time. So we're going to talk to David in a few moments. But first, episode 31 of the GFree and Happy show is brought to you by Oval Eye TV. Oval Eye TV hosts and produces live video events built to meet your objective. Visit Oval Eye TV to request a free 30-minute consultation today to find out more about going live with your brand. So as we're talking to David tonight, which I'll bring him on in just a minute, please chat in questions or comments you have for him, and I will relay them to him via your chat. So thank you again for being with us tonight. This is going to be a fun one. So let's bring David on. As soon as the producer's here. He had to step away.
Okay.
Hey, David.
Hi, Kathy.
Oh, it's an honor to have you. I can't tell you how many Zing Bars I have consumed over the years that I've been G-free. And I have one holding up right now. My favorite one is the coconut bar, by the way.
Yeah, that's actually the national favorite. Most people prefer it. That's our biggest seller.
Is it really? Well, I'm in good company. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a registered dietitian. I have a master's degree from Bastyr University, which is a natural medicine university here in Seattle. And I got into nutrition primarily because of personal health challenges that I was having, mostly around fatigue and energy and random aches and pains. I wasn't able to get any relief or any momentum for better health through the mainstream medical channel. So I turned to nutrition, and it's interesting you saying you're gluten-free. I found out amongst many other things that I had going on that I was also sensitive to gluten. So through my path in nutrition, I was able to find better health for myself, and I wanted to bring that message to a broader audience. So I got a master's degree in nutrition and went into private practice. And that's actually where the Zing Bars came in. I started Zing Bars with 3 other colleagues, also registered dietitians. And in our private practices, seeing patients who maybe were diabetic or who had heart disease or digestive upset or were interested in weight loss, all of those different situations, shall we say, different sort of disease, if not overt disease, but different, different situations, health situations, all had a common denominator. And we were seeing that all of our patients across the board needed a healthy snack. We were advocating small, frequent meals, in many cases gluten-free, and we were wanting our patients to have stable blood sugar and good energy throughout the day, but there weren't very many convenient foods out in the marketplace where they could get the nutrition that we were advocating in sort of a run, on-the-go, convenient package. And so it was actually at many of our patients' urging that we created Zing Bars.
It's funny that you said that. I think it's a big part in what I like about the Zing Bar is that my blood sugar would spike up, and I've it's a trial of different things that I'd have before my workout, and that's why I love the Zing Bar so much because I never have that spike with the Zing Bar at all before the workout. So I think it's very important that you put that in your spiel tonight because it's very true. And I have that blood sugar kind of hike or spike when I do the workout. So, and I love the Zing Bar because of that. So let's talk about how you started. How did Zing? So they told you, hey, give me something that's good for me and helps me. How did the four of you, did you work together, and how did you start Zing Bars? By the way, I love that name.
Zing Bars, yeah, we'll hopefully have a chance to talk about where the name came from. But to answer your question, we were advocating healthy snacks like hummus and carrots, or raw almonds and an apple, or salmon and some in a lettuce wrap, and very healthy foods, but not something that was really easy for our patients to eat in the middle of a busy day or sort of in between meetings. So we put our heads together and said, what are the components that we're looking for? And it was high fiber. It had to be high fiber, and that's part of what satisfies and keeps you fuller for longer, and also helps maintain a level blood sugar. So high fiber was essential. It had to have at least 10 grams of protein because we wanted it to have enough protein to rebuild muscles, to also help feel satisfied. And then the carbohydrate, the sweetener we use, and Zing Bars taste very good. We do use a sweetener. All bars use some
all
kind
bars
of
do, yes.
Yeah. We use a low glycemic sweetener called agave nectar, and it's a combination of what it's agave. We also use I'm tapioca syrup. Yeah, so agave and tapioca syrup together, and they will not spike your blood sugar. So they provide long-lasting energy over a 2 to 3 hour period. So the high fiber, the low glycemic carbs, the high protein, and the heart healthy fats. All the fats in the Zing Bars come from nuts, and nuts are high in monounsaturated fats, which are health promoting and heart healthy in particular. So we were able, with the nuts, with the added protein, the added fiber, the agave nectar, to put together a product that tastes good, but also meets the nutritional requirements that we were recommending to our patients every day.
And that are gluten-free, soy-free, and most of them are vegan. Are they all vegan?
They're not all vegan. There's 3 flavors where we use whey protein, and whey protein is sort of the gold standard of the most bioavailable protein, meaning that the bulk of it gets converted into actual usable protein in your body. Soy protein is actually one of the least bioavailable, so only about 70% of a soy protein or a soy isolate will actually be usable in your body.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. It's a very low quality protein that's made even worse by the high temperature and the caustic chemicals they use to produce it. So for us, soy protein in particular, the isolates, it's not a very healthy food. It's not something we would ever recommend to any of our patients or give to our children. So when an ingredient could not pass that basic litmus test of, is it good for our patients? Is it good for our children? If it's yes on both of those accounts, then we would consider it. But soy doesn't pass either of those tests in our estimation. So the bars are soy protein free. I myself am gluten intolerant. 2 of our founders have celiac disease, so we wanted to have the gluten-free product. So soy-free, gluten-free. 3 of the flavors, as I said, have whey protein for those who are looking for the highest quality protein. And most of the bars, the other 5 flavors, are vegan. Yes, and
Wow.
we've actually we use a proprietary rice protein in the vegan bars that mimics the amino acid profile of the whey protein. So you're really not sacrificing anything with our vegan bars in terms of quality of protein. And then one last little piece that we've just put together this year is we're moving the whole line to be non-GMO certified. So we're not using any genetically modified ingredients in our bars. And the entire line, except for two of the flavors, are now certified non-GMO. And the whey protein ones have not been certified either, because that's a extra process with the whey protein, but we're moving forward for the whole line being non-GMO as well.
Well, and that's a lot of hard work. So thank you, because my goal is to not eat non-GMO products too. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Before we get into the next question too, I want to put up the coupon code you have that you provided all my viewers tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a bit of a sinus infection. Underneath is the code, and I want all of you to use that code right there. It's online. You can use it for the online thing. Just go to zingbars.com. Check out the coupon code. I'm telling you, the coconut bars that look like this, or actually another favorite of mine is the peanut butter one too. But this chocolate coconut one is like to die for. So I would recommend all of you getting on that website, zingbars.com, and using that coupon code. Thank you, David, for providing all of us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And the best way to use the way to use the coupon code is it will you'll go through choosing your flavors and the checkout process, and it is not until the end of the checkout process that you actually put that code in.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Just bear with the whole process, and towards the end it'll ask for a coupon code, and you put that in, and it will automatically provide a 15% discount on the order. And if you order 3 boxes, which might seem like a lot, but if you have kids, or if you like nutrition bars, you go through them pretty quick. 3 boxes would be free shipping plus the 15%.
Ooh, that's even better. Let's all get on there. And Shirley on chat has asked, can you order from Canada? Are they there in Canada too?
That's a great question, one we get frequently. We are just beginning to go into the Canadian market. So there are a few Loblaws stores that carry them, but right now we are not shipping individual orders to Canada, because we could do it. We've tried it, but the shipping for one box of 12 was like more than the actual box cost. It was upwards of $20, and it was just unaffordable for our customers. So we decided to get some distribution set up, and that would be a better way for people to get the Zing Bars.
I think so too, and should be looking for it at Loblaws. That's a fun name.
Loblaws is a grocery chain, and it's the largest grocery store chain in Canada, but there's only the Loblaws with the natural products aisle, and that's where you would find the Zing Bars. It's in the natural product aisle, and it's only 170 of their 1,700 stores or something.
It's still a lot.
Yeah.
So the next question I have is, how did the name Zing Bar come about? Because for one thing, when I enjoy a product too, I really enjoy the brand. And I look at that first, the colors, the brand, the name. So how did Zing Bars come about?
Well, we had a list of literally over 100 names that we were looking at. And Zing rose to the top primarily because of the meaning of the word. So when we developed the bar, it was all about, and sort of a personal interest of mine, as I alluded to earlier, was about providing energy, providing sustained, dependable energy without caffeine, without any stimulants, without guarana or cola nut or any of the different stimulants that are snuck into products. We wanted to provide an all-natural, sustainable energy to our clients, and that was basically the added protein, the low glycemic sweetener, the fiber, the sustaining nutrients that are an important part of of every meal, really. Um, and so we wanted something that would convey vitality. So Zing actually means vitality.
Oh, I love
And
that.
yeah.
That's great.
So it was like, this is what we're about. We're about all natural vitality. And then the name also has a certain ring to it. It's
Yeah.
easy to say.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah,
Zing. Zing
Zing. So,
bars.
um, but primarily it was the meaning of it, and then the sound of it. Everything complemented what we were doing.
I love it. And plus you're in Seattle too. So that's a plus for me. So I could get them pretty easily. I mean, they're all over the place. And we'll go into that in a couple minutes. But first, I want to ask about the ingredients in your bar. I saw some chocolate information. And just tell us a little bit about what you provide. As a nutritionist, I would assume you're very careful in what you put in these bars.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've talked a little bit about them with the low glycemic agave and the added fiber and the added protein. The foundation of the bar is a nut butter, and that's the one thing that we haven't talked about. And nuts are an incredibly healthy food. So whether it's a peanut butter or an almond butter, we have a hazelnut bar, and cashew butter. We use a lot of cashew butter also. And nuts provide protein, they provide fiber, they provide fat soluble vitamins. In fact, there was a study done. I won't go too in depth about it, but in Loma Linda with the Seventh Day Adventists who eat lots of nuts as part of their diet, nuts were identified as a food category that adds 2 years to your life if you eat them on a regular basis. So we wanted to take the health benefits of the nuts combined with the protein, the fiber, the low glycemic ingredients, and basically create a packaged food. So the quick answer to your question is yes, we put a lot of emphasis on the ingredients. Nuts, fortunately, also taste good. So ours is the rare bar that is actually very good for you. It's healthy. It's a nutrition bar, and it tastes good.
Well, it's funny you say, it tastes good. That's a huge thing for me because a lot of those bars, I've tried hundreds of them, it seems like, over the years, because I wanted to really work out for the maximum effect, and I needed, some kind of nutrition in the morning. I don't have a whole bar every morning, but I have enough, and I know exactly how much that gets me through my workout. And you don't taste nuts, really. What I taste is that chocolatey and usually the coconut or the peanut butter. It's interesting that you put nut butter in there, and sometimes you can't even tell that it's in there.
Well, you can't, but it does provide that sort of soft, chewy, delicate, sort of yummy consistency, which is great. And thank you for mentioning the chocolate. There are a number of ingredients that we really wanted to use the very highest quality out there. So our chocolate, three, we're about to come out with a new one, but three of our bars on the market right now are chocolate covered. So it's the coconut that you're talking about.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, the chocolate peanut butter and the dark chocolate hazelnut. We use an organic, fair trade, dark Peruvian chocolate with no soy lecithin in it, and it's it makes our life more difficult because it's a very delicate chocolate. So when exposed to heat, it will melt very easily, and it will not reform into its sort of original conformation because we don't use any plasticizing agents or any what do they call them? I'm forgetting the additives that they will put into most chocolate.
Well, that makes sense because I have these things everywhere. I mean, I have them in my purse, and I'll find one and try it sometimes, and it'll be a little melty, my coconut one. But that's the reason, is because you don't have the additives. So I'll just put in the nut ones instead in my purse.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's, you brought up a good point, that soy lectin. That's in everything. What the heck? So you don't put that in your bars?
We don't. And soy lecithin itself is actually, lecithin it's actually, you can buy it in bulk at health food stores, and it's an important part of your cellular membrane. So soy lecithin isn't a bad thing per se, but we want it to be a soy-free bar. And so we couldn't be soy-free and have soy lecithin in the chocolate. What soy lecithin does, is it just helps the chocolate to retain its shape and its form, and make it a little bit more resistant to the vicissitudes of heat and cooling.
That's interesting. As some of these things you brought up tonight, I had no idea. So thank you so much. Tell us, can you share with some of the new flavors of the Zing Bars?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked. Yes, we are just this summer, and probably only available in a select number of stores.
Hopefully by me.
This year. Yeah, by you. You're going to be lucky. But it's we've got a double nut brownie, which is going to be sort of a brownie consistency bar. It tastes like a brownie, but it has the exact same health profile, with the fiber, the low glycemic carbs, the heart healthy fats, and the protein as our other bars. And then we're really excited. I'm going to put this up. This is our new dark chocolate sunflower mint bar, if you can see that.
Wow. Yum.
And we call it sunflower mint. Everybody's asking, what does sunflower mint mean? And it's the butter from a sunflower seeds. So you take sunflower seeds, you mash them up, and you get a sunflower seed butter. So it's a vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, and it'll be a nut-free bar as well. So we've had a lot of customers say, hey, do you have any nut-free bars? This will be our first nut-free bar, and it's a very strong mint. So for those of you who like, that sort of peppermint patty.
Yes, with chocolate too, yes.
With chocolate, and covered in chocolate, yeah.
And wait, okay, so it's the brownie, the sun butter, both of those, when do you think those will be out?
Those actually will be, if you live in Seattle, those will be available in PCC in August, and then it just in Whole Foods, in some select Whole Foods in Seattle in August and September, and then hopefully more of the Whole Foods where we're sold, and Sprouts Market will begin to bring those on as well.
Those are good places. Somebody asked me about, is the sun butter one vegan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. It'll be vegan as well.
Okay. And by the way, I find two of these. I find that, in fact, I got them at Safeway. And I always, if they're out, they're always out of these things. And I have, oops, they're upside down. This one is, wait, there. Anyways, the peanut butter and the coconut one, they're always out. I always have to request them, but they're always good about restocking. So Safeway has them too.
Thank you for requesting them. That's, it's easy to get lost in the shelves of the big supermarkets. So
there's so many. So please, everybody, give Zing Bars a chance, because, like I said, I'm just in love with them all. So the last question I have is, well, we're talking about it. So you're trying to get them everywhere, right? In the U.S. and hopefully Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, and everywhere I would qualify to be natural food stores. So for a number of reasons, it's an expensive bar. I mean, they're $250 to $275 per bar at your grocery store. So you can get a Power Bar or a Cliff Bar for $1, and it's a completely different produt.
Not as good. Myself.
Yeah, it's not as good. The quality of the ingredients aren't as good, and the in my humble opinion, the taste isn't as good either.
Well, I got you on here. I don't have the other ones on here, so I'm a huge fan of Zing Bars.
Right. So to qualify, we want to be in the natural foods markets, but I think it'll be quite some time before you see us at a Costco or a Walmart or a, some of the larger, Target
How about
distribution
Starbucks?
centers. We had some interest from Starbucks, but they have recently moved to only branded products. So they are not going to be only the Starbucks branded products. So they are moving away from anything that does not say Starbucks on it, and they're going to produce it themselves.
Thanks for sharing that, because I wondered about that. We have to go in a couple minutes, David. So why don't you tell us a little bit of where we can find you? I mean, I have you at the lower thirds here, zingbars.com.
Sure.
And so where else can we find you? Do you have a personal thing, or do you have your nutritional website that you want to share with too tonight?
Yeah, and you can find all of that on our website. There's a little area for bios, and each of the founders has a bio and contact information. And 3 of the founders still maintain a private practice, me being one of them. And my private practice is out of Seattle Healing Arts. The best way to really get in touch with me is through our info at zingbars.com. And we check that every day, and those emails kind of get divvied out to everybody. That's probably the best way to find me personally. And then the best place to find, were you wondering about Zing Bars too, where we're carried, or?
No, you answered that. You did very well with that. But one thing I do want to say is everybody should follow Zing Bars on Twitter too. They're very good about retweeting, answering questions. They've been great for me. So everybody follow, and it's right at the bottom, Zing Bars, basically. Say hi to them. David, you have been wonderful. Thank you so much for being on. I'm a huge fan of these Zing Bars, especially this one here. Right there, the chocolate coconut. So everybody check out that coupon code down at the bottom, producer. Get it on there. Go to zingbars.com, go through the shopping cart if you didn't hear before, and you'll put that coupon code at the end. If you buy 3 of those boxes, shipping's free. So check out that. I know I'm going to. I'm tired of buying them all the time. I should just buy bulk here.
Buy bulk. It's easier.
All right. So David, thank you again for being a guest. You've been wonderful.
Thank you for your interest. Really appreciate it, Kathy.
So you've been watching David with zingbars.com. Check them out, please. And next week I have Kelly, who is a gluten-free labels on Twitter and I believe on Facebook. She has a story you wouldn't believe about yes, Shirley, your cookbook's behind me. She has a story about infertility and gluten. So it's a great story. I hope everybody watches next Monday night. Until then, check out GFreeandHappy.com. I'm on Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, the whole bit, and have a great G-Free week.